Hello there, I'm Owen Miller. I'm a junior at UMass Lowell and I play on the men's soccer team. I will be reading I Am Farmer, Growing an Environmental Movement in Cameroon. This is northwestern Cameroon, green, wet, alive. The rainy season has begun. A young boy arrives at his grandmother's farm. His feet squish between rows of cabbage and beans. His small hands plunge into the dirt. Nashi! Oh, Tanto, his father laughs. His grandmother laughs too. They do not stop him. They understand his joy. Tanto rummages through grandmother's market basket. A sharp smell fills the air. Onions! He wonders if he can grow them by himself. He sneaks them under a banana tree. Each day when he checks on his secret garden, the greens have shriveled up a bit more. Eventually the bulbs dry up. Why won't they grow, Makafu? He asks his grandmother. They need sunlight and earth, she says, and most importantly, water. She explains that nature has its own ways of working. Tanto wants to learn more. He wants to learn everything. When he begins school, Tanto drinks up facts and figures faster than his teacher can pour them onto the chalkboard. His hand shoots up like a cornstalk. Teachers frown. Too many questions. Students giggle. What's so interesting about plants and dirt and weather? As a teenager, Tanto is still fascinated by nature. Tanto's father is sick, but he finds a way to buy his son a shovel and other gardening supplies. Tanto uses these tools every day and keeps record books of the seeds he's planted and how long each one takes to grow. He shows his biology teacher, Mr. Ken, his records. His classmates give him a nickname, Farmer. It is not a nice name. It is a name that is meant to make him feel as low as the dirt beneath his feet. But Tanto loves the dirt. He loves the texture of roots. He loves the smell of dark, wet soil. He loves the corn it can grow and the fufu it provides for his brothers and sisters, especially now that his father is dying. One morning, he makes himself a new school uniform. He puts big letters on the front, Farmer. Tanto wears the shirt to school for the rest of high school. His elder brother shakes his head. Farmers are very poor. His brother urges him to do well on a special upcoming exam so he can provide for the family. If you get good marks, you can work in an office, be a police officer or a teacher. On the day of his exams, Tanto considers his brother's advice. Their father has died, and his brother is now the head of the family. Tanto fills in the correct answers, the ones that will get him a good-paying office job. Before he hands in his exam, he wipes dust off his desk, dust that reminds him how dry the land can be. His own mother and neighbors walk far to get clean water and struggle to grow enough food. He imagines himself away from them and stuck inside an office. He crosses out his answers and hands in his paper. He signs it F for Farmer. His teacher returns it F for Fail. His days at school are over, so the land in his village of Nakambe becomes his classroom. He spends his days and sometimes nights digging, planting, reading, asking. Even Mr. Ken, who lives nearby, can't answer all of Farmer Tanto's questions. As he works, Farmer Tanto meets others who share his love for the land and water. One of the people he meets recognizes how important his love of farming is and provides money to send him to college. Tanto will be able to study the environment and agriculture at a local school. Finally, his classmates and teachers will praise him for talking about the weather, learning about water, and playing with the soil. At college, Farmer Tanto is thirsty to learn everything he can. Although he soaks up plenty of facts and figures, clean water is still scarce. He contracts typhoid from drinking the local water. He is so sick, he worries he may not live long enough to graduate. For 7 years, medical doctors and local healers use their knowledge, medicines, and herbs to make Farmer Tanto feel better. During his recovery, he thinks a lot about his future and the future of his fellow Cameroonians. No one should die from drinking something that is necessary for life, water. After he is better, Farmer Tanto gets a chance to continue his studies in the United States. There, he finds out about new ways to save the rain, find clean underground water, and grow gardens and crops without poisoning the soil and wells. Back in Cameroon, Farmer Tanto is eager to use what he has learned. People are still getting sick because they don't have clean water. And when the dry season comes, there is hunger and drought. How can he help his people? Resources are limited. Most villages don't have tractors, motorized tillers, or irrigation systems to bring water to fields. Some don't even have roads. Farmer Tanto creates a motto to help motivate himself and others. When you don't have what you want, use what you have. While he doesn't have much, he does have people. Tanto gathers children and teenagers to join him in the fields. Some laugh at him or shake their heads, but others grab a shovel or hoe. Together, they build botanical gardens and rain gardens that will hold water in the soil. These areas produce food or flowers all year long and provide green spaces to reconnect people with nature. The mayor of his home village, Nakambe, is impressed. Eventually, the mayor promises to make sure the garden stays beautiful for years to come. By now, everyone in northwest Cameroon is calling Tanto farmer, and they say it with pride. In the Fulani village of Aquito, Tanto learns that people are drinking from the same stream as their cattle. The water contains harmful bacteria, and many children are getting sick and dying. Tanto helps the villagers locate a clean spring, but they don't have money for equipment and laborers to build a catchment that can hold the water. Abiyu Nagir, Tanto says. It is a Limbum phrase for community, meaning unity is strength. He translates into Fulani so that everyone in the village understands. Young and old, everyone in Aquito pitches in to clear a path or carry stones. Together, they construct a catchment to capture the spring water. Before long, the entire village has crisp, clean water flowing year-round. 2 years later, a grandfather will tell Farmer Tanto that since drinking the new water, not one of his neighbors or grandchildren has gotten sick or complained of a stomachache. One project leads to another and another. Farmer Tanto founds Save Your Future Association, a nonprofit organization to which people around the world can donate money and supplies. With local and international support, he finds a way to bring clean water to Nijairong, a village suffering after a 30-year conflict. He begins a water delivery service for blind students. He hires engineers to design stairways, railings, or ramps for villages with physical disabilities. In places with large populations, communities build reservoirs so that in times of drought, people can get the water they need. Today, this is northwest Cameroon, sometimes wet, sometimes dry, but very alive. Today, Farmer Tanto does not work alone. A stream of hands works to find fresh, clean water. A trickle of hope runs through many villages, and a crop of young farmers who are proud to be farmers are digging in, planting ideas, and growing a movement. Thank you guys for listening to I Am Farmer, growing an environmental movement in Cameroon. Just remember, in Lowell, books always win.